Hi, I'm Matt Hall. I'm the QBE Airmanship Ambassador. So there's a classic saying in aviation, there's three things that are wasted, and it's runway behind you, sky above you, and fuel in the bowser. Let's have a quick chat about fuel management, fuel planning, etc. Refueling aircraft is kind of like that whole risk management thing where you do it enough and nothing's going wrong, and you can get a little bit complacent about grounding the aircraft, grounding the nozzle, making sure that you've water checked it, making sure you physically dip it if you didn't go up to a full tank. So just keep reminding yourself it's worth doing, because most aircraft procedures and techniques are written in blood. There's somebody that has been injured or killed that has led to a procedure. So make sure that when you are refueling, using a properly certified fueling station, or if you're operating off-field, make sure you are using properly certified drums and equipment. Ensuring that the aircraft is grounded correctly, making sure that the fueling station is grounded correctly, and that making sure that you're grounding the fueling station to the aircraft correctly. Know what you plan to put in the aircraft. Sometimes it gets a bit harder if it's not your plane or you weren't the last one to fly it. At Matt Hall Racing, we track every refuel, for how long we've flown for and how much we're putting in it. That way we can tell straight away if we've got something abnormal with the aircraft, abnormal fuel flows or leaks, or some fuel's gone missing. But you should know how much you're expecting to put in if you're refueling up to the top. If you're not going all the way to a full tank, once again, know how much you expect to put in, but then can always confirm the amount of fuel in a tank two ways. If you've got a fuel gauge that's electronic or a mechanical backup, making sure that you check that, but also always physically check inside the tank with either a dipstick, eyeballs, a known marker on the tank. If there's a discrepancy between how much you expected to put in and what's now showing in the tank, figure out why that discrepancy is. Is there a contaminant in the tank that's actually raising the level of the fluid and you haven't got as much in there as you think? There's all types of issues that can be there. Once again, things not going wrong for a long time leads to complacency and not following these things through. Obviously, once you've got the aircraft refueled, making sure that the fuel is high quality, it's the correct colour, and you've got no contaminants inside it with the fuel drains. Now, how much fuel should you put in a plane? Well, obviously, that's why we do our fuel planning. Once again, there's some great apps out there. There's Oz Runways, there's other apps that tell you or help you plan with regard to fuel flow, duration based on winds, how much fuel you're going to use for that particular flight. So making sure that you've got a number in your head, it makes sense, you've triple checked it, and then that fuel is actually in the aircraft. Lastly, time to fly. Once again, the flying part, it's right at the back end of the whole airmanship cycle. When you're in the plane and you are flying it and you're on a cross country, making sure you are keeping some sort of fuel log. Whether that fuel log is writing on your hand, writing on a knee board, or mentally just staying on top of how much you expect at each particular 20-minute period is how long I do it, 3 major fuel checks per hour, and making sure that you're either switching tanks, or you know when you're going to switch tanks, or you know what the indication is going to be that you should be switching tanks in the very near future. So in summary, fuel is one of those issues that has actually killed a lot of people in aviation. So let's concentrate on getting it right, plan it correctly, check it twice, just for good measure, check it again.